Welcome to the sound demo for the Rullywow Princess Rawr, which is a Catlinbread, which is based on a Catlinbread Katzenkonig. I actually wrote that word down because I can never remember it. Katzenkonig, a Katzenkonig. So it's based on that effect, which is a rat crossed with a tone bender, as the description would give it. A few notes I wanted to mention, a few things I missed from the build report, which would flesh out the information for the build report a little bit as well. I've got some notes here which I'm just going to spiel off. So yes, it's a transistor based effect, so it's not an IC based effect. It's not going to use the LM308 like I mentioned in the build report, because that's very hard to find genuine ones of those. So we are using transistor gain stages. There's 3 of them, and it's a 2N3904, so that could be the tone bender part of the equation, you could say. The rat part well, a few things that I've noticed is I think the gain control is a little bit similar to the gain control that you'd use for a non-inverting op amp, and also the filter on the output is the same as the rat. So when you see me, I'm saying this in the sound demo, I'm telling you these things because I'm going to be mucking around with these knobs, and obviously it just helps to understand a little bit about what's actually going on schematically when you're twiddling with knobs. I find it helps me understand what I'm doing a little bit more when I've seen a schematic, and then I listen and I'm like, okay, I can see how that is interacting with the other knobs. So that filter looks the same as what the same tone control that is on the rat. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that because this video is going to turn into another talking one. I want to get to the sound demo. So just a couple of other quick things. I think there might be a buffer on the output. It looks to me like a buffer from the schematic. It suspiciously looks like a buffer. So we've probably got a buffer on the output, and the volume on the output, the volume control is just a standard volume control, and it's called output, but you can substitute the word output for volume. It's exactly the same. And on the input, you have a potentiometer that is attenuating your guitar signal coming in. So it's kind of how would I put this? It's sort of shrinking it or crushing it. It's not like a volume control. It's a little bit different. It's kind of weakening your guitar signal, I suppose, is probably a good word to describe it. So that is what input is. So when input is full, that potentiometer is effectively not in the schematic. It's not having any bearing until you start actually adding resistance to the input. So I hope that helps you understand briefly what is going on with the knobs as I'm playing with them in the sound demo, which we will do. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything. Yes, we'll do it right now. what did you think? Did it remind you of a rat or a tone bender? Reminded me a little bit of a tone bender in that the gain is kind of starving the Q3, I'm assuming. It sounds starved, which is okay for a fuzz pedal, and it's a little I don't know, it's a bit of an oddball to have it with the distortion. I think personally, I can't imagine that I'm ever gonna have that turned on. Personally, I don't know. It's just not my thing. I think the straight up sound from it, just distortion, and with that gain turned off and the input on full, was actually the input anywhere really sounds great. I think that sounded really good. The gain control, I'm just not sure about. The filter's great as well, and it did remind me of a rat in that respect. It sounds the same as a rat filter control, just applied to a different sort of effect, really. So it's all good, but the gain I'm not too sure about. And in fact, I would almost go as far as possibly suggesting, if you're going to build one, to maybe play with the transistors and change the gain of some of those transistors, because it could sound a lot different with different transistors in it. The gain control could react very differently. I'm just thinking, if it's being starved, you could put a different gain transistor in it, and then it might prevent it from being starved and have a different sort of interaction with the circuit. So that's it for this one. It's good. It's very good. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. Just because I'm not too keen on the gain control doesn't mean that the entire effect. I'm not keen on the entire effect. I think some of the very low gain settings sound very good, and yeah, I'm very impressed with it. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you like that gain control? Leave your comments down below. I read all comments, as I've said in the past. I don't often respond much these days. I do sometimes, but very difficult for me to get the time to respond to all the comments like I used to do. But I still read all the comments. I get them, they come through my email, and I have a read of what people have to say, and general opinions and advice and all that sort of things, and suggestions and all that sort of stuff. So I am reading them. I'm just not responding to large majority of them. I respond occasionally. So yeah, let me know what you think of that one. And yeah, thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more guitar pedal related videos. Cheers.